Luke 23:44-49. It was now about the 6th hour, and darkness came over the whole land until the 9th hour, for the sun stopped shining, and the curtain of the temple was torn in two. Jesus called out with a loud voice, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." When he had said this, he breathed his last. The centurion, seeing what had happened, praised God and said, "Surely this was a righteous man." When all the people who had gathered to witness this sight saw what took place, they beat their breasts and went away. But all those who knew him, including the woman who had followed him from Galilee, stood at a distance, watching these things. Alright, everybody, you have to know two things that are very important in this passage. Jesus was tortured and killed on the same day. This was against the law back then, and the people really hated him if they managed to kill him and torture him on the same day. After that, they all beat their breasts, remember? So it proves that everybody knew that they were wrong and that they had done something very bad. Another thing you need to know is that a centurion was there, and he called out, "Surely this was a righteous man." Now, in the Bible, if you look in Matthew, it shows that the temple literally rent in two pieces, cracked down in half. Even the rocks were cracked. So this was definitely not sarcasm, and the centurion definitely found out that Jesus was a very righteous man and that he was God's son. And I'm pretty sure that not just him, but a lot of people realized this when they saw that the temple was torn in half. The first verse mentions that darkness settled over the land on the 6th hour till the 9th hour. This basically means that God's wrath was upon the people and that Jesus was going to die. Something horrible was going to happen. The second verse says that the sun stopped shining. So even the sun was paying respect to Jesus' death. And the curtain of the temple was torn in two. This, however, is a prophecy that the Pharisees and everybody else who are bad will receive a very horrible fate. Jesus called out with a loud voice, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." Jesus at the time was probably very scared, and because he is human, very hurt and broken. He was afraid of dying, but he did it for our sake anyways. So this verse proves that he did it without any holding back. The centurion that saw this praised God, which means he probably believed that Jesus was the Son of God, and that he probably realized who he was. The people who had gathered also knew that they had done something terrible. I mean, they beat their breasts and went away. So you don't see very many people beating their breasts on the street and running away, do you? Well, the people who knew Jesus and were very closely acquainted to him followed him to Galilee, which means they were all paying respect to him, and that they all missed him and were very sad, I guess. And that would be the meaning of all the verses in this passage. Thank you for listening to my presentation.